All right, so today we're going to be diving into something that I think can be kind of a scary topic for a lot of people.
Oh, yeah.
Money, right? Like how to manage your money without feeling totally overwhelmed.
Mm-hmm.
Especially as millennials. I feel like we're juggling student loans and this crazy job market and like social media is telling us to spend all our money all the time.
Right.
So what if I told you that there is a book that could like help you feel good about your finances?
Okay.
That's where this book comes in.
Uh-huh.
It's called Broke Millennial by Erin Lowry.
Yeah, I've heard of this one.
Yeah, and this book is kind of a big deal, right?
Yeah, it's pretty popular. I think it was even picked for like the Washington Post's Color of Money book club or something like that.
Yeah, it was a big one. And that's why we're doing a deep dive on it today. We're going to be looking at a bunch of different reviews and summaries of the book just to like pull out the good stuff in you.
Absolutely.
So what makes this book so special?
Well,
Well, for one thing, I think Erin Lowry really gets the struggles that millennials are going through, right?
yeah, definitely. She seems to get it.
She talks about it in a way that's super relatable and like not judgy at all.
Yeah, she's not talking down to you.
Yeah, and there's this one analogy that she uses that I thought was really interesting.
Okay.
She compares thinking about money like it's a Tinder date
Oh, interesting.
versus thinking about money like it's marriage material.
Oh, that's a good one.
So like a Tinder date, it's fun and exciting in the moment, but you're not really thinking long term.
Exactly.
Marriage material, though, like that's about commitment and stability.
Right. Building something real.
Yeah, and that's how she wants us to think about our finances.
Makes sense.
It's not just about, buying that like trendy coffee every day.
Right.
It's about making choices that are going to set you up for a strong financial future.
It's like you're building a relationship with your money.
Yeah, exactly. It's like ditch the fling with those impulse buys and like build a long-term relationship with your money.
I love that analogy.
And that can be so empowering
Oh, yeah, definitely.
because I think a lot of us feel lost when it comes to finances.
For sure.
Like we don't even know where to begin.
Yeah, it can feel overwhelming.
But what I like about Lowry's book is that she lays it all out in a way that feels manageable.
Okay.
And she has this system that she calls leveling up.
Leveling up. Okay.
Yeah. So basically, if you're already familiar with like the basics of budgeting,
Mm-hmm.
you can skip ahead to the chapters that are going to be more challenging for you.
That makes sense so you don't get bored.
Right. But if you're totally new to personal finance, like she's got you covered too.
Cool. So it works for everyone.
Yeah. It's like having a personal roadmap for your financial journey.
I like that.
Yeah. And what's really great is that she doesn't just like tell you what to do.
Mm-hmm.
She gives you like concrete actions you can take right away.
Okay. So it's not just theory.
Yeah. Every chapter ends with these action items.
Oh, nice.
So you're not just learning about concepts, you're actually putting them into practice.
That's so important. A lot of people read these books and they learn stuff, but then they don't do anything with it.
Exactly. This book helps you avoid that.
So what are some examples of these, like, action steps?
Well, for example, she talks a lot about student loans.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one for a lot of millennials.
And she breaks down these complex topics like loan consolidation and income-driven repayment plans.
Right, because that stuff can be confusing.
So instead of feeling intimidated by all the jargon, you can actually understand your options and make a plan that works for you.
I like that. It's about empowerment.
Exactly. It's about taking control instead of feeling like your finances are controlling you.
Right, taking charge.
And speaking of taking control, one of the most interesting things that Lowry talks about is this idea of financial nakedness.
Financial nakedness. What is that?
Basically, it's about being completely open and honest with your partner about your finances.
Oh, okay. Like no secrets.
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
I know it might sound a little scary at first, but think about it,
Mm-hmm.
especially for millennials who are like moving in together, getting married, thinking about buying a house.
Right. You're combining your lives.
You're building a life together, and that includes your finances.
Makes sense.
So being upfront about your financial situation, your goals, your debts even,
Yeah,
that can prevent a lot of headaches down the road.
I bet.
Yeah, absolutely. It's about building trust and making sure you're both on the same page.
Right. You're a team.
Now, one thing we did notice is that while Broke Millennial is amazing for building that like solid financial foundation,
Yeah.
it doesn't really get into advanced investment strategies.
True. It's more about the basics.
But honestly, I think that's okay
Why?
because it's like she's meeting you where you are in your financial journey. She's focused on helping you build that strong foundation first,
Okay.
learning to budget manage debt, understand credit,
The essentials.
and then once you've got those mastered,
Then you can move on to the more complex stuff.
yeah, guess what? She has another book for that.
Really? What's it called?
Broke Millennial Takes on Investing.
Oh, perfect. So she's got us covered,
She does. It's like she's your financial guide.
leading us step by step.
Exactly. Now, we have seen some people saying that the book might feel a little too millennial-centric,
Oh, yeah.
with like the language and all that.
I can see that.
What do you think about that?
Well, I get where they're coming from, but here's the thing.
Mm-hmm.
Taking control of your finances is a universal goal, you know?
It is.
It doesn't matter if you're a millennial or you're Gen Z just starting out or you're someone who's been managing their money for years.
Right. Anyone can benefit.
The core message of Broke Millennial is taking charge of your financial life in a relatable and non-judgmental way.
Yeah.
And that resonates with everyone.
Sure.
It's about empowering yourself no matter where you are in your financial journey.
Right. And speaking of empowerment,
Yeah.
let's talk about those everyday money situations that can be super awkward.
Oh, those are the worst.
Like, how do you split the bill at a restaurant when you're trying to stick to a budget?
Yeah.
Or what do you say when your friends want to go on like a fancy vacation, but you're saving for something?
Oh, I hate those situations.
I know. They could be so stressful.
Yeah, because you don't want to be a party cooper.
Right.
But you also don't want to, like, wreck your financial goals.
Exactly. It's like a lose-lose.
Yeah, and Lowry totally gets that. She actually gives you practical scripts and strategies for navigating those tricky situations.
Really? Like what?
So, for example, instead of just saying no to that expensive trip, she suggests offering alternative ideas that fit your budget.
Oh, that's smart.
Yeah, so maybe it's a weekend getaway instead of a week-long vacation or a camping trip instead of a luxury resort.
Right. Find something that works for everyone.
Exactly. It's about being honest with your friends and finding ways to enjoy yourselves without breaking the bank.
I like that. So it's not about depriving yourself.
No, it's about finding a compromise.
It's like she's giving you the tools to communicate your need without feeling guilty or awkward.
Right, exactly. It's about being assertive but also respectful.
And that confidence can really spill over into other areas of your life, too.
Oh, for sure.
Like, think about negotiating your salary or asking for a raise.
Ooh, yeah, that's a big one.
That could be super intimidating, especially for millennials who are often told to just be grateful for any job offer.
I know, right?
I've definitely felt that pressure before.
Me too. But Lowry reminds us that we have valued and our skills and experience deserve to be compensated fairly.
That's so important to remember.
It is, and she even provides scripts for how to approach the negotiation process, which can be a game changer.
Oh, wow. That's really helpful.
Especially for women or people from marginalized communities who might feel less comfortable speaking up.
Yeah, that's a great point. It's about knowing your worth and advocating for yourself.
Exactly, and that can make such a huge difference, not just in your current job, but throughout your career.
Right? It's about taking a holistic view of your financial well-being
Absolutely.
and recognizing that you deserve to be treated fairly.
You do.
Now, we did mention earlier that Broke Millennial doesn't go super deep into things like advanced investment strategies,
Right.
but I actually see that as a strength.
Oh, interesting. What?
Because it's like she's meeting you where you are on your financial journey.
Mm-hmm.
She's focused on helping you build that solid foundation,
Okay.
learning to budget manage debt, understand credit
Right, the essentials.
before you start getting into the more complex stuff.
So it's like building a house. You need a strong foundation before you can add on all the fancy stuff.
Exactly. Get those basics down pat, and then you'll be ready to tackle investing and all that other fun stuff.
Cool.
And remember, she's got another book specifically on investing, so she's not leaving you hanging over.
Perfect.
She's like your financial guide, leading you step by step.
I love it.
We've talked a lot about how Broke Millennial is geared towards millennials,
Yeah.
but honestly, I think there's something in there for everyone.
Oh, totally.
I mean, who doesn't want to feel more confident and in control of their money?
Right, everyone does.
Budgeting, saving, managing debt, these are universal concepts that everyone can benefit from, no matter what generation you belong to.
Exactly. It's about taking control of your finances and building a life you love.
And Broke Millennial gives you the tools and the inspiration to do just that.
I agree. So before we move on to the next part of our deep dive, I want to hear from you.
Yeah, what's resonating with you the most from what we've talked about so far?
What surprised you? What's challenged your assumptions about money?
Think about your own financial journey. What's one thing you can take away from this discussion and apply to your own life?
We'll be right back in part 2 to wrap up our exploration of Broke Millennial.
And we're back with part 2 of our deep dive into Broke Millennial.
All right, so
Yeah, where we left off, we were talking about how this book can help you feel more empowered in those awkward everyday money situations.
right, like when your friends want to do something expensive.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
you're trying to like stick to your budget.
It could be so tough.
And sometimes like you don't want to be the one to say no.
Totally. You don't want to be a party pooper.
Right, exactly.
But you also don't want to like blow all your savings on a trip you can't really afford.
Yeah, exactly.
So what does Lowry say about this?
Well, she actually gives you like practical scripts and strategies for navigating those tricky situations.
Oh, that's cool. Like what kind of scripts?
Okay, so like instead of just flat out saying no to that expensive trip,
Yeah.
she suggests offering like alternative ideas that fit your budget better.
Well, that's smart.
Right. So maybe instead of like a week-long vacation, you suggest a weekend getaway.
Yeah, or like a camping trip instead of a luxury resort.
Exact. Something more affordable, but still fun.
Right. It's about finding a compromise.
Yeah. And being honest with your friends about your financial situation.
Right. And like finding ways to enjoy yourselves without breaking the bank.
Exact.
I like that. It's not about depriving yourself.
No, it's about being smart with your money
It's about making conscious choices.
and setting boundaries.
Yeah. And I think it's also about like communicating your needs without feeling guilty or awkward.
Yeah, she gives you the tools to do that.
It's like she's saying it's okay to prioritize your financial goals.
Right. You don't have to feel bad about it.
And that confidence can actually like spill over into other areas of your life too.
Oh, absolutely.
Like think about negotiating your salary or asking for a raise.
Oh, yeah. That's a big one.
That could be so intimidating.
It is.
Especially for millennials who are often told to just be grateful for any job offer.
Right. Don't rock the boat.
I know, right?
But Lowry's like, no, you have value.
Yeah.
Your skills and experience deserve to be compensated fairly.
And that's so important to remember.
It is. And she even gives you like actual scripts for how to approach the negotiation process,
Really? That's amazing.
which can be so helpful.
Especially for women or people from marginalized communities who might feel less comfortable speaking up for themselves.
Yeah, that's a really good point.
It's about knowing your worth and advocating for yourself.
And it can make such a huge difference, not just in your current job, but throughout your career.
Exactly.
It's about like taking a holistic view of your financial well-being
Yeah,
and recognizing that you deserve to be treated fairly.
absolutely.
So we talked earlier about how Broke Millennial doesn't dive super deep into like advanced investment strategies,
Right.
but I think that's actually a good thing.
Yeah, I agree. Why do you think that is?
Well, because it's like she's meeting you where you are on your financial journey. She's
Mhm.
not throwing a bunch of complicated stuff at you right away.
Right.
She's focusing on helping you build that strong foundation first.
The basics.
Yeah, like learning to budget manage your debt, understand credit.
Those are the essentials.
Right. And then once you have those down.
Then you can move on to the more advanced stuff.
Exactly.
It's like building a house. You need a solid foundation before you can add on all the fancy stuff.
That's a great analogy.
Right. And remember, she does have that other book on investing, so she's not leaving you hanging.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Broke Millennial takes on investing.
Exactly. So she's got you covered.
So even though this book is called Broke Millennial, I
Yeah.
think there's actually something in there for everyone.
Oh, absolutely. Totally agree.
Like, who doesn't want to feel more confident and in control of their money?
Right. Everyone does.
Budgeting, saving, managing debt, these are like universal concepts
They are.
that everyone can benefit from no matter what generation you belong to.
It's about taking control of your finances and building a life you love.
And that's what Broke Millennial is all about.
Exactly. So we've covered a lot of ground in this deep dive.
Yeah, we have
We've talked about practical tips, mindset shifts,
all the good stuff.
and now it's time to bring it all together with some final takeaways.
Okay, let's do it. And we're back for the final part of our deep dive into Broke Millennial.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground already, right? Like from practical tips to like shifting your mindset about money.
Yeah, for sure. A lot of good stuff.
But now I think it's time to bring it all together with some final takeaways.
Yeah, what are your big takeaways?
Well, one thing that really stood out to me was the emphasis on like your mindset around money.
Yeah, that's huge.
It's not just about, crunching numbers and making spreadsheets.
Right, it's deeper than that.
It's about like understanding your emotions and how they influence your financial decisions.
That's so true.
Like think about it. Have you ever made an impulse purchase when you were feeling stressed or down?
Oh, yeah, all the time.
Or maybe you avoid looking at your bank account because it just makes you anxious?
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
That's exactly what we're talking about. It's those little things.
Those are the things that can really trip you up.
Yeah. And Lowry encourages us to become more aware of those patterns
Right, recognize.
and to start challenging them if they're not serving us.
Yeah, they're holding you back.
And she also reminds us that it's okay to make mistakes.
Oh, for sure. We're all human.
We're all learning as we go.
Nobody's perfect.
The important thing is to be kind to yourself.
Yeah, don't beat yourself up.
Learn from those mistakes and just keep moving forward.
Keep going.
Personal finance is a journey, not a destination.
It's a marathon, not a sprint.
Exactly. There's no one right way to do it, and what works for one person might not work for another.
So true.
The goal is to find what works for you
Yeah, what fits your life?
and to create a system that you can stick with over time.
That's the key, consistency.
And that's where I think Broke Millennial really shines.
Yeah, why do you think that is?
Because it gives you the tools and the knowledge to create a personalized financial plan
Okay.
that fits your unique circumstances and goals.
So it's not a one-size-fits-all approach.
No, not at all. And what I really appreciate about Lowry's approach
Mm-hmm.
is that it's not about deprivation or guilt.
Oh, yeah, that's a good point.
It's not about feeling like you have to give up everything you enjoy in order to be financially responsible.
Yeah, she doesn't want you to be miserable.
It's about finding a balance
Right.
between enjoying your life now
Mm-hmm.
and planning for the future.
It's about finding that sweet spot.
Exactly. Like maybe you love going out to eat with friends.
Okay.
Instead of cutting that out completely,
Yeah.
maybe you try cooking at home a few more nights a week.
Or finding less expensive restaurants.
Exactly. It's about making conscious choices with your money
Right. Yeah,
and
I
finding
do
ways
lots
to
of-
save without feeling like you're missing out.
I like that.
So as we wrap up this deep dive into Broke Millennial, I want to leave you with this question.
Okay, hit me with it.
What's one small step you can take today
Yeah.
to improve your financial well-being?
What's one little thing you can do right now?
Maybe it's finally creating a budget
Okay.
or having that money conversation with your partner that you've been putting off.
Or maybe it's just like acknowledging your emotional relationship with money
Yeah.
and starting to explore those patterns.
Exactly. Remember, every journey starts with a single step,
That's right.
and even small changes can add up over time.
They really can.
If you're ready to dive deeper into Broke Millennial, we've got a link to the book in the episode description.
Definitely check it out. It's a great read
And supporting the channel helps us keep bringing you these deep dives.
and allows us to keep exploring all these fascinating topics.
Exactly. So thank you so much for joining us on this exploration of Broke Millennial.
It's been fun.
And we'll catch you in the next deep dive.
See ya.